Hi, this is Cathy from Texas, and I have been invited by Michelle to be a guest host on Out Late But Great this week since I submitted the question that Michelle decided to use as a topic for the week. The question which I submitted is, in your relationship with your partner, husband, wife, boyfriend, or girlfriend, who does which household tasks and yard tasks that need to be done around your place? And how has gender mismatch affected getting those tasks done? This question came up in our relationship very markedly about 2 weeks ago. We had our refrigerator in the kitchen go out, and my wife looked at me and said, "Well, are you going to go get a new refrigerator or look for a new refrigerator, or am I?" And I said, "What would you like to do, honey?" And she said, "Well, why don't you go look at the refrigerators, and when you find one that or two that will work, come back and get me, and we'll go and get the new refrigerator." We did that, and my wife commented on, "Well, is that a male task or is that a female task?" And I responded, I said, "Refrigerator is in the kitchen, so it probably is a female task to go find a new refrigerator." And we talked about that for a while uh, in regards to our refrigerator. To address the question that I posed, my answer is going to be much different than the other hosts that are here on Out Late But Great. I am transgendered, and I have been married to my wife for over 30 years. And in 30 years, you develop a lot of patterns and a lot of things which you automatically do. I am much like Michelle when I say that many of the things and many of the household tasks that we have in our home are just done when they need to be done, and there's never ever a discussion as to that task being done. The interesting thing to me is that I was married to my wife for about 25 to 27 years before I told her that I was transgender and I needed to transition to be a woman. When that happened, she looked at me and said, "That explains many of the things which have occurred in our marriage that are associated with gender-assigned topics." Ever since we were married 30 years ago, I have cooked most all the meals during the weeknight, and I have cooked Sunday dinner. Was I ever asked to? The answer is no. I just enjoyed cooking. When I transitioned, there was no change in that task assignment. I continued to do the cooking on Monday through Friday and again on Sunday. On Saturday, we usually go out to eat. When it comes to the household chores of cleaning, my wife always mops the floor and cleans up the countertops and cleans up the kitchen. I always clean up our bedroom, the living room. I usually vacuum and dust and do those household chores, and I've always done them ever since we were married, even though that is a woman's task. My wife cleans up my daughter's room and the guest bathroom, which my daughter uses, and that's always a disaster, and she says she wants to work on the disaster. And man, I agree with that. I clean up our bathroom and wash it down every week. And we have those assigned tasks that we just do automatically. When it comes to the yard work, I have always mowed the lawn. When I was a man, I mowed the lawn, and I have mowed the lawn ever since I transitioned. I never gave it any consideration to the fact that since I transitioned, that was a gender-related topic. I just automatically do it. When it comes to planting flowers, my wife always looks at me and says, "Honey, I'll go get the flowers, and the two of us can plant them together." and that's fine with me. And so we work in the flower beds and work in the garden together. And that's a joint effort. And to me, I look at that as a time when I can enjoy being with my wife and enjoy that common activity that both of us have of planting and raising a garden and raising flowers in the planter box. When it comes to the big tasks, uh, we generally discuss it, and the one who's most qualified for doing that task goes and does it. An example of that would have been last spring. We had a tree blow over on our house. My wife dealt with the insurance people in getting the insurance to pay for the damage done to our home. I ended up calling the tree people and getting the tree cut up and on the ground, and then I hauled all of the branches and limbs away in order to save some money. In that case, we followed very definite gender roles, where my wife dealt with the insurance company, which she has been more or less responsible for insurance ever since we were married, and I dealt with the heavy-duty yard work that was there. So I think that there was definitely gender-established lines that we followed. To kind of wind this thing up, I think the big point that I would like to make is that our gender roles were established soon after the two of us were married, when I was still a man. My wife points out that it is interesting that from the time I was married, even though she did not know I felt like I was a woman, the fact that I was willing to do all of the cooking. Every morning I would get up and fix her lunch and get her out the door. Every night I'd come home and fix dinner. Every weekend I would do the laundry and do the pressing for the entire house. Really strongly showed her my feminine side without ever telling her that I desired to be a woman. When we talked about it as I transitioned, she said it felt much more natural, and in a lot of cases it has that change to being of me to being from a man to being a woman has resulted in resolving a lot of the gender questions that were out there. And that's one of the reasons why I posed this question to Outlet Great, because I wanted to see how the other people dealt with gender-related tasks and gender-related assignments that are around the house that have to be done. Again, I would like to thank Michelle and the rest of the people on Outlet Great for allowing me to be a guest on your channel, and I hope that I can do it again sometime. You have a good day. Bye.